Alright guys, I want to talk about how to handle high balls. So I was doing a lesson with a lady who's about a 3.540 player, and she was talking about how she has trouble with the high balls because that's all she gets. Especially in Colorado, the ball bounces here pretty high too, but the idea is a looping ball is really tough. The first thing I asked though is, so I see you on the ball machine, you obviously practice this, so what's going wrong? And she actually said, no, I don't practice that. So please remember, the ball machine is not only to work on your strengths, which is great, but work on your weaknesses. If you don't like high balls, you got to give yourself high balls until you're comfortable with it. That's something that I had to embrace myself. Yes, every pro is going to tell you, step in, hit the ball on the rise, don't let it get above your head, right? Okay, that's good if you are a rising star player, you know, you're very good, you play college or you're high varsity. Yes, that's important, and recognizing when to do that is also important. But I just want to talk about the situation when you do have high balls, because every pro at any level, they always get a ball above their shoulders, and not all the time, but sometimes. So how do you handle it? And the one thing you have to think about is, it's like I see players handle a high ball like a kid trying to put a square peg into a round circle, just hammering it and hammering it, trying to hammer it home. You can't do that. You gotta relax and you understand that you can't hurt someone when the ball's above your shoulder. So if I'm back here, usually that's where high balls are, and it's above my shoulder here and I can't get back enough, I have to make contact. The first thing in my head is I have to relax and hit up on the ball. So a lot of players, I watch their shoulders. Their shoulders tell me a lot on if they're gonna hit the ball, you know, up or try to drive it. A lot of players will have their shoulders straight, so parallel to the ground like this, and they're gonna try to hit a high ball like that. And then their shoulder dips, and then they drive the ball into the net, or they line drive it, and it becomes a short ball and a pretty easy ball to attack. So the one thing you gotta realize is you gotta drop your back shoulder. So if it's a backhand, I'm dropping my back left shoulder, and my forehand, I'm dropping my back right shoulder, right? So the idea then is, I just use an analogy. It's like you're shooting a bow and arrow in the sky really high. So if I'm gonna shoot a bow and arrow in the sky really high, look at my shoulders, they're arched pretty well. So that's the idea, is when the ball is really high, I'm dropping my back shoulder, and then I'm just gonna go up with it as best I can. So the idea is, so you should try to think about, when do you practice, or when do you get that the most, is probably on the backhand side, right? A lot of players are going to try to hit it high to your backhand because that's a very tough shot to hit. So I would practice that. Again, you're dropping your back shoulder and just trying to hit up on that ball. And challenge yourself. Maybe throw the ball up a little higher and back up a little bit more. And just try to drop and try to hit up on that ball and see how deep you can get that ball back. Again, throw it even higher. And then you're trying to hit that ball up. So the idea is, I'm just trying to loop that ball back and deep and challenge myself. If you want to work on this with someone, they can feed you the ball in the air. I like doing this with players a lot, because if I throw the ball in the air like this and then I swing, I have to take a full swing. A lot of players have trouble and they don't have confidence, so they don't swing with confidence. So when you're handling high balls, you gotta swing through the ball. You can't dink the ball back. You gotta swing. And the idea then is how you swing with your shoulders up in a trajectory. You gotta have spin on the ball. So I'm hitting up on the ball and trying to create some spin on the ball to make it dip back down. If I hit flat, so palm up, let's show my forehand. If I go like this, that has zero spin, and the ball is going to sit there, and also very hard to control. It's probably going to go long, but if I drop my palm or make my palm go down, and now I'm hitting up on the ball like this and dropping my shoulder, now I get a lot of spin. If this is new to you, the ball will probably drop short. You got to aim higher. I've told players, hit the back fence, and all of a sudden they hit a great shot. They're just not used to aiming so much higher or harder or deeper or whatever it is to make that ball go where they want it. So just make sure that you're working on trying to think about where you're aiming over the net. It's a lot higher than you think, all right? So it's always, I just want to end with this, it's like, you want to make sure you're certain with your execution. So when that ball is high, you have no doubt in your mind you're going to take a good swing, you're going to drop your shoulder, and you're going to take a good swing to see that ball looping. And above all, practice this. You need to practice this. The ball machine's a great idea. If you don't have a ball machine, find someone that hits balls like that, and you guys could just hit back and forth and try to loop the ball so that you get practice at this, so it becomes an easier shot for you to handle. All right? Hopefully that helped a little bit. Good luck with your training.